People honestly can underestimate how close they are to being at the top, being where they want to be, reaching those goals, when it actually feels like things are going in the opposite direction. And just to talk about some of what I mean is that pretty much when you're down bad and not doing well in life, all you kind of think about is the bad things going on, and you hyper focus on that, and you just kind of see the collateral downhill spiral. And I think this is where a lot of young men are in the United States, and it's hard to get off that sentiment when I've had a number of things go wrong in my own life recently and not going well. Just had a brutal job rejection the other day, and something that I thought I was going to be good and in for, and that's kind of changed my career trajectory again to not make a leap that I was hoping to. And also a lot of my social medias, my YouTube hasn't taken off, so not doing very well with that. Something I've tried to put effort into. And so basically there's a lot of failure around, and it's even easier to see your failure as you look out and see everybody's best life out there now. But the one good thing that can be the shining light, I think, from being at this constant feeling of negativity, being depressed, not being in a good state, thinking you're very behind, is that often the ascension to a much better life can be just around the corner. And you think, well, I just fell down the mountain, how am I going to get all the way back up to the top? But I feel like once you've fallen down, that's when you take the helicopter ride all the way to the top, and it can be a very fast ascension. And so the reason that is because once you're at the bottom, the feeling is so bad that you're more motivated than ever. You can get the ball rolling, more fixated on improving than ever, that you can get the ball rolling. And once you do, it's just very hard to be stopped. And so going back, just an example in my own life, I've talked about it on other videos. I remember being very down bad with my weight for such a long time that eventually I just got so sick of it that I did some ridiculous actions in 2020 to lose it all. But I never would have thought that was possible going into that year, or that was going to happen. But it's like once you get the ball rolling from being just at your worst, you can definitely turn things around quicker than you'd expect, because you start to gain momentum. You do one thing right, and then suddenly you've done 100 things right to sort of fix your life, and things turn around quicker than you anticipate. And so if you're out there and you're thinking, I'm never going to get that position, I'm never going to make that career move, I don't know where my life is, do I want to do this, how am I going to figure it out, what am I supposed to be doing, this isn't working out, I would just say, not necessarily be patient, but be a little bit more calm. Just understand that actually this could be good, and always try to look at the glass half full example and think, look, we're in a worse position than I've ever been in, but fortunately this is going to motivate me, this is going to drive me to fix it and go the other way, because that's really the only way you can get motivated, because it's going to be so difficult to fix your life. That's the only way you can get motivated to really pursue and do much better. And actually, in the day and age of the internet, in the day and age of social media that I mentioned, there are plenty of examples right now of people that were kind of nobody one day, and the next day there's somebody. They have all things rolling in life, and stuff just completely changes and turns around for them. So if there's ever been a time, I mean, we can name plenty of influencers or people like that have suddenly come onto the scene and become a big player. Happens all the time nowadays. And so you've got to understand that your situation is not permanent. It's not going to kill you in 2 days. You've got to take a calm approach and look at the glass half full. Say, how do I make minimal improvements day by day and build on those, and then fix your life and ascend? Whether, again, it's trying to get the job you want to get, trying to move up in your career ladder, trying to make more money, trying to get better on media, trying to improve your fitness and health, all of that, you've got to take it one step at a time, and just understand that sometimes being at rock bottom actually puts you closer to the top, just because of your desire to improve from that point on. So definitely do not crash and burn or try to give up, because that is not going to help you, but instead taking that action is going to be the thing that gets you to where you want to go. But everybody, I hope you're well. Going to try to edit the audio on this video a little bit differently because I've been doing the editing that I'd like to do with the audio, but perhaps it might be better if I just sit down and ramble a little bit more. And honestly, maybe that will be appreciated a little bit more. I don't 100% know if I want to do that for the long term or just how people react to it, because I do feel like a lot of other channels that have had more success than mine in the same kind of niche have done better taking that slower approach. And certainly on YouTube and stuff like that, I mean, audio and just people talking, having discussions, podcast, very popular with high retention for long periods of time, with people just taking that slower approach and having the more natural discussion, even though that hasn't necessarily been the case in my videos. So perhaps I'll have to try the other route. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you're struggling with in your life in the comments below, and how you are trying to attack turning that around, and if you think you can really ascend this year, 2026. We're just getting started. Everybody's trying to improve in a lot of different ways. So best of luck in doing so. Also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below. And thank you. Stay tuned for the next one.